Hello viewers, I'm SB and this is Thea 2, The Shattering. The previous game in this series, Thea the Awakening, was recommended to me on a bunch of occasions by a bunch of people, and I never got around to actually trying it because of laziness, mostly, if we're being honest. But this thing has been in early access for a while. It just formally came out on Monday. I misread the date on a thing that they put out a while ago, I guess, because I thought the release date was today, which is why I started learning it today. But yeah, we're going to do this. I'm excited to try out this weird new thing. It's sort of a 4X. You'll see when we get in. It's kind of a strange thing. I did play the tutorials. I played a couple of turns of a game just to try to get the grasp of the UI and everything. But I am by no means an expert, so if you are a player of Thea and you see me misunderstanding a mechanic, or you just have general tips or whatever, feel free to leave that stuff in the comments below. Help is always appreciated. And yeah, without further ado, let's get going here. So, first choice we have to make is to select a god for our people to worship. Svarog here is sort of a general god of the forge fantasy trope kind of thing. The only other unlocked god is Hors, who has this whole thing happening. I think we're going to play as Svarog for right now, just because he seems very straightforward. And while we're learning, straightforwardness is probably a good thing. From the flames of the sky and the ashes of darkness past, I rise to my duty. Sun god and master of heavenly fires, that is my honor to bear. But as I once wielded a warrior's garb, I now know the true power of light and fire, the simple hearth that lights the homes and hearts of my flock. It is not the power of the gods that will save our lands, but the power we can grant to our faithful. In the scorching flames of my domain rise the tools and weapons of true heroes, mortals and immortals alike, sworn to uphold my iron will. Protect those in need, never back down, never give in, and never again allow darkness to rule over light. So our god gives us some card slots here, and we'll see those on the next screen. There's also all these other gods that are not yet unlocked, so you can see there's an unlock 3 button down here. We have 2 god points currently, and we'll get more for finishing games, so we'll unlock these as we continue to learn. These 2 at the end don't have the unlock button, so I assume that they're unlocked by some other means, or maybe you can't unlock them until you get all the others or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's jump in and have a look at our card slots. So I'm just going to reset our cards real quick. You guys can see this as it appeared to me when I first saw it. So we have all of these card slots, and these set up the beginning situation for our new society. We have this card, which is forced on us by our god, many hammers, 1 anvil. Each character gets a 20% bonus to their crafting attribute, plus 4 health and sanity, and a 10% reduction in their gathering attribute. Every character that we have is a military unit, but is also sort of can be used as a worker, so everybody can craft, everybody can gather. And then we have 6 more card slots available here. We can spend up to 7 trait points on the cards that we put in, and these are going to give us things to start with. So, for example, we have this Add Craftsman card, this Add Warrior card that we can put in these themed slots that our god has given us access to. This card, Add Character Craftsman, does the same thing as this card, but it costs twice as many trait points, and that's the value of the specialized cards. So we need to slot 4 more cards. I think we probably want a Gatherer. Seems to me if it's got 4X-y stuff going on, gathering resources is a pretty important part of the genre. And then, another warrior, I think, maybe? Being able to kill early monsters that we encounter seems pretty important. So now we have 6 of our trait points spent, with 2 slots left. We have enough trait points to grab a scoundrel or 2 human children. And to be honest with you, I have a hard time imagining the value of having some children along with us, and for that reason, we're going to select this card, because we're gonna figure out what it is about this that is good. Why is this a good thing to pick? And then we have no trait points left, and we have as many people as we're allowed to have, but we have a slot remaining, so we have a couple of free bonuses available. We can start with 10 to 15 basic food and 1 piece of equipment, or 5 to 10 random gems and a crow pet. I still don't really know what the use of a crow pet might be, and so, same logic here, we're gonna take that. Let the crow prove himself. So we're ready to go. You can see we have our god points here. A bunch of additional cards are available to us, and we could spend points to unlock them. I assume the Clanless Dwarf Smith must be a pretty freaking good card for it to be worth 25 points. Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to spend any points just yet because I have no idea what's valuable. Let's just get in here. So, the next thing we have to do is designate one of our characters as the chosen of our god. This character is important for storyline reasons, I guess. And since we have a god of the forge, it makes sense to me for a craftsman to be the chosen, right? I think that makes sense from a story perspective. Again, I have no idea what makes sense mechanically. So, okay, what do we want our guy to look like? Well, if we're talking about a god of the forge, I think the big dude with the anvil. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So, like I said, there are 4X elements in here. I don't know exactly how much it's going to end up being like a Civilization or Endless Legend, because I still don't really know what what the goal is, how you win a game. But I'm sure the game will help us through. That 100% loading bar is very misleading. I thought, there we go.
Hello there, Chosen. Welcome into the service of the gods. As I am a believer myself, I am happy to be the one to guide you.
Alright, we're going to listen to this guy, let him tutorialize at us a bit on this first game, but we'll probably skip through all this stuff on subsequent plays.
Theodore's the name, but little old me is not relevant here. You are. I am here to tell you of some basic rules and hand over any divine objects that may have been bestowed upon you. First and foremost, the cosmic seed. Yes, Thea is far from a land of prosperity. Darkness was defeated long ago, but it is not gone. It lurks in the corners and attacks at night. The Shattering tears the earth asunder, and a scorching light takes hold of folk without protection.
So, darkness is bad, and also light is bad? It seems like we want to try to live in that place in between.
The seed, and others like it, is a gift of the divine, a piece of the cosmic tree itself. It can grant great boons, and it allows you to set up a village and provide divine protection there. But if you wish for the life of a traveler, or if you are skilled enough to create another seed one day, this seed can be used to forge divine artifacts, or even bring back a comrade from the clutches of death.
So yeah, they seem pretty important.
Indeed, you catch on fast. Without the seed or different means that other factions may possess, the village attracts the cursed light and is taken by it within days. And if somehow that does not happen, terrors of darkness will drive your folk insane. This is how it has been in Thea for many centuries now. It is why we struggle still to survive just another day. I may pop up now and again to tell you things, but for now, you must take your first steps into this hostile land. Remember to check for resources on the map for gathering, set up camp for craft and cooking, and check your inventory to make sure you are well equipped. Here, have some wood, so you may heal when camping. My advice is to explore, learn the ropes, and only then decide on a settlement.
Yeah, screw around, learn a bunch of stuff, die a couple of times. You know how we do. So he's given us 11 wood, 10 mushrooms, 2 research points, and 8 experience points. Okay, or sorry, 0.8 experience points. So, mushrooms, of course, are food. All of our people have to eat. We also have to have fuel for keeping us warm when we camp and build cities. Here we go. Okay, so this is our starting position. We've been placed near a bunch of resources here. Probably what we ought to do is just have a look around. Excuse me, just have a look around mostly. If we make camp, we can get access to our crafting menu here. And you can see that in order to build our town, in order to create a town, we have to build this idol. This is the center of our village. It seems like in order to craft a thing, you have to be able to fill one of the slots in the primary material area, and then one of the slots in the secondary material area. Obviously, we have our cosmic seed, so that's covered. And we're going to need either 32 of some kind of stone, 31 of some kind of gem, 30 of some kind of wood, or 29 of some kind of bone. So I think that's probably a pretty high priority, is finding one of those things and just gathering. And we do, in fact, have a source of quartz over here, which is clearly a type of stone. Good quality stone, valued for its sharp looks. So let's, I think let's explore in this direction here. We're going to break camp and move over here. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff kind of nearby here. What is this? Topaz. Okay. So we have enough science to start with a single advancement point. When I said that the game was overwhelming a little bit, this is the primary thing I was thinking about. When you first look at this screen, it's just like, oh, what does all this mean? And this is one of 4 tech wheels. There's also the equipment wheel, the food wheel, which thankfully is a little simpler, and then buildings and stuff. So we have a lot of things to do with our advancement points, and I have no idea which things make the most sense to do early. But what I do know is that we can currently only gather the most basic resources of all types. But we can spend our advancement points to get the ability to interact with better resources. So I think what we should do here, I'm just guessing, is learn how to interact with quartz. It will allow your people to gather it. Your chosen will also receive 10 units of it. And then let's make camp here and learn about gathering a little bit. So while we're in camp mode, we can assign all of our people to gathering or crafting or cooking in composites. I'm not sure what composites means, or just doing research. We have resources to manage. Again, this is sort of what I was thinking about when I said it's a little bit like a 4X. And you can see each one of our people. Actually, let's look at a person in detail. How do I do that? Here we go. Okay, Diarad here, who is a fighter who is equipped with a bone shield and a big iron club, has, here we go, gathering and crafting and research stats in addition to all of his somewhat more combat-related things. There's a whole very complicated combat system. We'll get to that in a little bit. For right now, we are putting all our people to work as gatherers. Oh yeah, we have this crow. So this crow increases our rituals and perception stats. What do those do? Perception is... it affects your gathering and your luck and your health. Okay, why don't we put the crow on our gatherer then? Here's one of our children. Really have no idea. I assume children are pretty bad. I guess the value might be that you have, if you have 2 kind of bad units instead of 1 good unit, maybe they're better at, the 2 of them combined are better at gathering or something. Okay, you're my gatherer. You get the crow. To improve your gathering skill even further. And then, yeah, we want quartz. We want a lot of quartz, as quickly as we can get it. Wow, that's a lot of... You can see here our different gathering skills. We can put people on the task, and they accumulate some gathering progress every turn. Let's put, obviously, the gatherer on this. It's pretty important. So my understanding here is that this means every 5 turns, every time we fill the bar with 360 gathering points, we're going to gain 12 quartz. How much do we need to actually build the idol? It's like a lot, right? We will need 32. Okay, so we have to fill the bar twice. Alright, I believe we can... yeah, here. We can break our group of people into 2 here. So let's take the warriors and the craftsmen as well, the chosen. I think that'll leave us good enough at fighting. And we'll leave the children with the gatherer. So before we break up here, though, we should definitely make sure each group has some food. Let's just like split the food in half. Half-ish. Good enough. Whatever. I don't need to stress about this too much. Okay, and then also we're gonna need some fuel in case I have to make camp. But I think I'm gonna prefer to leave a lot of the fuel with Expedition 1, because they're gonna have to consume a fuel every single turn, and Expedition 2 will only consume fuel during turns when they are encamped, I believe. So we'll give them like a couple of turns worth of fuel. Okay. I think this makes sense. So, if we're leaving the children here, they can help with the gathering. So you are on quartz. If I put you on quartz, it doesn't give us enough extra progress to actually change the number of turns. But we don't have a lot else for people to do right now. We don't have enough resources to actually craft anything meaningful. We can put one of the kids on research, I guess. Just build up a little bit. She's not going to get a point of... She's not going to get an advancement point done, though. I guess she could try to gather some iron? I don't know. Make yourself useful, kid. Okay. So, Expedition 2 still has 1 movement point left. Let's go explore. I think that symbol means explorable ruins. We might be able to get some stuff. One of your groups has very little fuel. Not a big concern. So every turn, each person... hold on. So as tradition has it, your god sent me to guide your first steps on this new and bewildering island. Get us started, check what resources you have near you. Okay, I've already done that. If you have food and wood, they are always good to stock up on. You need both to heal when camped, and you need a variety of foods to better heal your mental wounds and keep morale high. Oh, and do you know what it means that you are chosen? Not really, no. You are all followers of your deity, but your gods speak and act through the chosen. They have a special bond, so if you die, that's it. Your god loses power, and it's game over. Okay, that's a lot of pressure. We're ready for the task, I suppose. My first task for you is to cook or find me some more food. Do it, set up camp, and choose the nice stone oven. Okay, I know how to cook food. We'll handle this. So we gotta get some food. And he's given us some more stuff. Alright, I'm gonna start by exploring this, if we can. These ruins are old and decrepit, likely already looted many times over, but you never know what hidden secrets you may yet uncover. The south area seems less traversed, but also unstable. Well, I mean, anything valuable is going to be taken from the safe areas, right? Let's check this out. You find a hidden cellar, or rather, it finds you as you painfully fall through its ceiling onto a hard floor. Still, there's loot to be found here. Hey, sandstone. Also, wow, that's quite a bit of damage. Okay, so you might be wondering why the people who are at the camp took damage from that. Oh, we also found some more sandstone and some quartz and a leather gathering tool. Okay, that's interesting. Any encounter, whenever a group of people gets into an encounter, all of the people in that group and also all of the people in any groups that are within like 5 hexes also participate in the encounter. So like the fact that we took all the warriors and wandered away from the camp does not mean that the camp is defenseless as long as we keep the warriors close enough. Okay, well we found ourselves a leather gathering tool, and I think we probably ought to equip that on our gatherer. Speed this process up a little bit. Okay, so that took her gathering stat up to 9.2, which means she is... Okay, she's contributing 92 gathering per turn. And... Oh, that's a shame. We got just enough quartz to not quite hit the 32 we need when we fill the gathering bar. Alright, well, we'll keep adventuring. Maybe we'll find some more. I don't know where we're going to set up our city yet, either, so that's like one thing our warriors are doing is definitely just looking for a good place to actually build. Okay, so you guys have 2 points of movement left. There's a bunch of wood over here. There's coal. Okay, there's food and coal over here. Coal works well as fuel. So maybe we want to explore in this direction. So, unlike most games that are games that are actually in the 4X category, or are at least 4X-like, we don't seem to be naturally accumulating advancement points or anything. We actually have to have people assigned to the stuff to do the stuff. Okay, there's another quartz deposit up here. So yeah, I like... Somewhere around here seems really good. There's a lot of stuff nearby that we could take advantage of. Wow, a lot of stuff. Oh, we should actually probably have this group make camp and gather food for a turn or two, just so that we can get our quest going, huh? Out of curiosity, if we had you make camp... Okay, it's not too hard to gather fruit. We put our 2 best gatherers on fruit. Get that in 2 turns, and then you, unfortunately, can't really do anything. I believe it is the case that if you abandon camp before filling a bar, you lose all the progress on the bar, so I think it won't help to have our craftsman research here, but we can test, we can verify that, at least find out whether it's true or not. And then since they're camped, they're going to spend a point of fuel. Actually, we have a menu that shows this. Yeah. So since they're camped, they're going to spend a point of fuel at the end of the turn. They're also going to heal by being camped and having fuel. Also, there's this whole morale system that I'm not super clear on, and I don't know exactly how you get morale, but I know that one of the major factors in morale is how many different kinds of food you have on you, which is why I split up our food the way I did when I split the group into two. People like to have a variety of different things to eat. And you can see how all this stuff has check marks on it right now. We could click on it to make it something that they will not consume, which would be useful in case we find like a certain kind of food that we want to make sure we don't eat because we want to bring it back to cook it because it's a valuable ingredient. Or like if we found some really good wood, some high tier wood, we could uncheck that so we'll be sure they'll only burn the bad wood. All stuff that we really don't have to think too hard about right now. The ground beneath your feet collapses and you fall into a tunnel. You soon realize the floor seems to be moving. It's swarming with vermin. Okay, so whenever you see the 3 cards, that means we're about to have a challenge. It's always 3 cards and then a number next to it indicating the difficulty, 1 being the lowest difficulty class, of course. So as a red challenge, this indicates that it's a physical challenge. A challenge that has filled-in cards is a challenge that you can use all of your equipment on and stuff. It's like a challenge against people or animals or something. A challenge that has darkened cards is a challenge against a concept. Like here, it would be a climbing challenge, or challenged against the idea of climbing out of the pit. So you don't get to use your swords and stuff to kill the idea of climbing. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to just fight the rats. This is our group of warriors, right? We're ready to do the thing. So the challenge system here is really cool. You can see each one of us is going to get to take 4 turns setting up our battlefield, and then after we've taken our 4 turns, there will be 2 resolution steps. So these things, the gears, are action points. They got to go first. You only get 1 action point on your first turn. We get to have 2 action points on our first turn. And the clock here is delay. So you can see the action they put down is this rat is going to bite, and he's going to bite with a 7.8 delay. Once we've played all of our dudes, during the resolution phase, actions will take place in ascending delay order. So the rat's probably going to go first. 7.8 is pretty fast. Let's throw one of our warriors out there. So you can see the skull on the card is how much damage it does. If we just click here, you can see our warriors have a variety of abilities. The skull is how much damage it does. You can see the delay of the attack here. Most attacks are quite a bit slower than that. My experience, the few turns that I played in the Game Off channel, is that animals are really fast and they tend to go first a lot. What is this? Targets the closest enemy and up to 2 enemies standing to their left or right. That's interesting. I think we're gonna have this guy step out here, and we're gonna place him right here. So melee attackers will attack the card that's directly in front of them if they have one. And if they don't, then they'll attack something that's either 1 column to their left or 1 column to their right. And if there's nothing there, they'll attack 2 columns left or right. Because of the way his attack works, where it hits both sides, I'm hedging. I'm hoping that they're going to play something here, and we'll get to actually attack 3 spaces with it. And that card costs us 1 action point. You can see all of our cards cost 1 action point the first time they're played, and then you can play a card into the field multiple times, but it escalates in cost each time. So we'll just play our other fighter here as well. He has a big hammer, so he hits the enemy and then the enemy's right and left of them, and also the enemy behind them. So for kind of the same reason, I'm going to throw him here. Just hope that the enemy plays into the middle a little bit and we get some more damage. Okay, they've put out another rat. So this symbol up here means that these 2 cards represent the same entity. They're the same rat. That means that whenever we deal damage to one of them, you'll see the damage reflected on both of them. So do we want to just play one of our warriors again? We could throw out the Chosen. The Chosen has an awful lot of armor. So we don't heal naturally. Or we don't heal up automatically at the end of battle. But any armor points you've lost, which are just, they function the same way as hit points, do get replenished for free at the end of each battle. So I think we want to use our high armor units here. So he has a basic brute force attack. He doesn't have a weapon equipped. He also has the ability to increase the shielding of some allies. I think we're just going to throw him out and have him punch. And then we have one more action point. We could hit end turn and just bank it over to the next turn. I think that's what I'm going to do, because we're going to get 3 more action points over the course of the combat, so that'll let us play both of our warriors a second time. You can see, by delaying in combat, you can bank your action points and then place your warriors in more advantageous positions with the information you have about the enemy's plays, but as you get later into setup, the delay gets greater and greater. So if you want to delay and set up with the most information, the trade-off is that all of your characters are going to go after all of the enemy's characters, which could be a big deal. Alright, so they have played a different rat. He has some kind of ability here. Okay, this character's combat attributes increase for each ally character placed on the battlefield after them. So you can see these cards are now doing 8 damage each. This is going to be actually pretty painful. Oh, you know what? We don't have enough room on the field to play both of our warriors, because they can both only attack from the front row. She has a ranged weapon. The children can also only attack from the front row. Alright, let's play her ranged attack. Single target attack dealing poison. Okay, so poison just does a lot more damage when they're not at full. So you want to play your poison characters later. Okay, let's throw her in the back row real quick here. And then the guy with the sword deals more damage, the guy with the mace. So, in a situation like this, where we're hitting multiple cards, if more than one of the cards in the area represents the same character, the character does take damage from all of the spaces that are hit. So, like, if they were to play the same rat, this purple rat, into this space, our hammer guys would just deal crazy damage to him. I think I'm going to put out... Yeah, I'm going to put out the hammer guy again. Okay, they did in fact do that thing. So like when this guy attacks, he's going to hit for 10 damage. I think he's going to hit all 3 of these for 10 damage and just completely obliterate this guy, which is great because he goes after only the first of those attacks. And you can see there's also a number in the upper left of each card indicating the turn order. Okay, so we have 1 action point left. Do the children have any use? Oh, this child does in fact have a hammer for some reason. And you have a sword. Wild. Okay, no, the children do not have any ranged attacks or any abilities or anything. So we're just gonna end turn. We don't have anything to do with our final action point. Alright, so the first rat hits pretty hard, but we have all that armor. Yep, that guy hits for 1,000,000. Okay, that didn't turn out too badly. It's a good thing we have a character who acts really early. Okay, and then there's a second resolution phase. But we totally won. The rat nest is mostly a pile of dung and debris, but you may be able to salvage some goods. So we took 2 actual damage on 1 character, got ourselves a bone and 6 meat. Oh, and we found 10 more wood. That's actually really handy. Oh, and we earned enough advancement to do another research. I honestly don't know what we want to do with it. I think let's just hold on to it for now until we have a good reason to use it. So we got our 12 quartz from the camp over here. Gathering. Yeah, forgive me, it's going to take me a little while to get the intuitive moving around the menus. Yeah, okay. So everybody is, obviously we gain experience when we participate in challenges, but also just gathering, doing anything basically, builds up your experience over time. So we'll start to see our characters level up eventually. No enemies incoming. It looks like more rats. So we actually did gather the berries. Yeah, okay. So we'll pop the next step of Theodore's quest at the end of the turn. And I might just go fight these rats. Yeah, let's get some levels and clear out this area that we suspect we are going to build our town in. we're still close enough to get the Gatherer, which is handy. Oh, here in the open, we have a lot more slots. And I got to go first this time. So let's use our fast guy. But we could use the really fast... You know what? Her attack is so fast that even if we play her on a higher delay, she'll still get to go before people. Let's put Sword Guy out first. And we're just going to kind of put him generally in the middle and hope that they play in positions where he'll be useful. Okay, those are not the same rat. So they're playing far away from the swords as expected. But they'll have to build into each other a little bit as they keep playing stuff out. Let's throw down... I think we'll use our craftsman to tank this guy. I should put the craftsman in front of the higher strength rat. Ah well. And then do we want to... She's on 5.5 now. Next turn will be 2 extra points of delay, so she'll still be before the rats. Yeah, we can afford to wait and put her down in a minute. Or we could put her down with our 1 action point now and then maybe put a second one of her down if that is a sensible thing. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put her down now. So units that are in the back row, it seems like generally cannot be attacked. If there's something in the front row in front of them, that thing will get attacked first. So we can use the craftsman to tank for her. Okay, I mean, she doesn't do very much damage. Yeah, I think she's fine where she is. Let's throw big slow hammer guy out there. Or... no, let's do another sword guy. We are going to want to put somebody a little bit hardier. We'll put hammer guy over here so that this rat doesn't attack the sword guy. So he does not need to get hit by everybody. Okay, hammer guy goes here. We are definitely going to sustain some damage. And then we can't really put anybody else out safely. I guess, actually, the way things are set up here, we could put down this child. What is this child's name? Let me see. Moimira. Yeah, we can put the child down right here, because both of these rats are going to attack this warrior. Like, people prefer to attack close targets. The child can contribute without being in any danger. And she has that hammer. Alright, unfortunately they did not build into our swordplay. And initiative advantages are really important because of the fact that there are 2 resolution phases in each round. You get that advantage twice. Okay, meat and bones, and we're starting to get pretty injured. You guys have 2 points of movement left. Let's head up this way. We can probably see a little bit better from up here. Oh, giant spiders. And I think we want to go into camp. We can definitely afford to spend the fuel, and yeah, you can see the progress of the research bar got reset, even though we should have put 46 research into it. So you have to let the bar complete before you leave camp if you actually want the thing. Which means that there's probably no sense in having anybody, work on anything here. We're just camping for a turn for the health regen. Because we definitely have enough fuel. Oh, the 10 wood that we found must have gone to the city instead. Yep, it sure did. Or the camp. Well, that's a little inconvenient. Spot a spider's nest nearby. It looks very busy, and you think you saw the creatures carrying large cocoons inside. Well, those could be, creatures. They could have hunted, in which case we might be able to take whatever the hunt was for ourselves, and also, we're still pretty hardy. I think we can fight them. 2 different kinds of big spider. Wow, 25 health and 7 attack. So there is a retreat button here. We could run away if we wanted to. Why do we have more shield? Oh, you know what? We have more shielding because I think we must have gone up a morale tier due to having another kind of food on hand. Because one of the bonuses for having higher morale is extra points of shielding in battle. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do here... Wow, he acted on 7.2, huh? Spider's fast. I think I'm going to go Craftsman in front of him and Swordsman right next to him. Okay, so this guy has a ranged attack. Can I... There we go. So it's going to be 6 damage. Unfortunately, it is going to get the 1.25 multiplier because we are not at full health with anybody but the Craftsman. Alright, he only has 12 health. He's not very impressive. I think what I'm going to do here is put this guy down in this position. And then I might play the shielding ability of our card. So doing this will not put another copy of the Craftsman on the field, but we can increase the shielding of 1 to 3 selected allies, and if you can select the same guy more than once, he does get the effect more than once. So I don't know. Is that better than just playing more fighters into the fray here? I guess let's put the hammer guy down. He can deal some damage through to that spitter in the back. And we'll bank the action point. I'm not sure whether this is going to be Craftsman shielding or maybe we play like throwing dagger or something. It's probably just going to be the Craftsman's shield. Okay, so with our final 2 action points, it looks like these 2 are going to need it the most, and then we'll throw 1 on him as well. Okay, these frontline spiders are a little bit scary. The good news is we hit really hard. You destroy the nest, and inside you find less fortunate folk wrapped in cocoons. It is unlikely any of them are still alive, but it's worth checking. We got 4 meat and 1 blood bone. Bones of unfortunates carrying a heavy curse so that their bones bleed even after death. Wow, that's a weird... Is that really a curse on the person? Because, like, they're dead now, right? They don't care if their bones are bleeding all over the place. It's weird. Alright, let's check the cocoons. What do we got going on in here? We found 17 fruit and 15 monster bone. And also research and experience, of course. And we got ourselves a level up. So on level up, everybody, every time you level up to an even-numbered level, you gain stats. And every time you level up to an odd-numbered level, you get another ability to be used in challenges. I think that's how it goes. Let's see here. Zuska is our gatherer, our main gatherer. So we could get 2 points of intelligence, which affects research, crafting, and sanity. We should talk about this. So you see, they have a red health bar, a yellow health bar, and a purple health bar. So far, all of the challenges that we've done have been red challenges. But there are yellow and purple challenges as well. And these bars are just your hit points in the different kinds of challenges. So sanity is yellow health. Or 1 point of wisdom, which affects luck, rituals, crafting, gathering, and sanity. I think I'd rather take the point of wisdom, because we really want to specialize her in gathering, right? We want her to be as effective as possible. Or we could get wits, which will, I guess, lower our delay during challenges. I think wisdom makes sense for her. Moimira, I feel like I don't really know a lot about the kids or what use we're going to get out of them, so it's kind of hard to tell. She get 2 points of destiny, which affects gathering, crafting, research, rituals, luck, and faith. That actually seems pretty good. Or a point of wisdom, or a point of strength. Yeah, let's go for 2 points of the thing that affects gathering and crafting. So Bromila, the other child, is... You know, 2 points of wits. I don't know exactly how much a point of wits affects your speed, but if her thing could be that she's just really, really fast, we could maybe make her useful in combat. And, boy, I'm not going to always know how to pronounce all these names, so apologies. I'm just going to say Gregors for now, because I don't know how... Grzegors, maybe? This guy, we'll call him Gors. Old Gorsy over here. Get 2 points of perception, which does increase health, or a single point of strength. Let's give him 2 points of perception. I like the randomness of this level up thing. Like, you still get choices. You can still bend a character to your will. But if things didn't work like this, maybe I would never have chosen to make this character perceptive. I would have focused on strength, you know? It's nice that there's some impetus to build in ways that you might not ordinarily choose to build. So, affects research and rituals and faith. Gathering, crafting, and faith. I think I'm going to take perception on him as well. We're using the warriors for physical combat so much. Okay. And the spiders did not actually attack us. Well, we don't have any fuel left, so there's no sense staying camped. How exactly are we doing? Here, this is the button I want. 23 health, 33 health, and 24. Okay. We could probably just take some spiders. Yeah, let's fight these guys. Okay. Same group of enemies. Although in a much wider space here. He's not going to go before the first spider, but we can probably get him down in a situation where he gets to go at least pretty early in the battle. He does 10 damage with his attack. As things stand, he won't be able to kill it in one hit, or he won't be able to kill it in one turn, even if he hits it twice. So maybe we do want to throw down a really fast knife throw here, just to soften this thing up a little bit. Now let's get a hammer blow committed to the field nice and early as well. So 9.2 and 12.2. The spitters are really fast. 12 life. That's a little unfortunate. We don't have anybody who can hit for 12. I think I'm going to play you to the field again here. Okay. Probably they will not put another spider here. I think I'm just going to do this. So let's see. He has Protect Others. He also has Shields Up. Increase the shielding of a chosen 1 or 2 friendly targets. Shielding bonus is 20% of the caster's own shielding. That's interesting. So we could buff up his shielding with other stuff during the round and then have him do a Shields Up at the end. I think for now I just want to commit more damage, but that's actually really cool. I can see how there's some interesting building possibilities there. Do we want to throw down a Protect, or would I rather contribute my own 5 damage? Well, as it is now, the spitter's not going to die. So let's see. You're going to get hit for 6. You're going to get hit for 6. He's going to get hit for a ton. Yeah, let's do shielding instead. We'll just craft for our friends a quick shield here. Alright, so this hammer attack will kill that guy, and then that means this hammer attack goes straight through. But unfortunately, in the second resolution phase, they both get attacked first because they're really fast. Oh no, sorry, only one of them gets attacked first, which is good, because we might actually have lost Dirad otherwise. Okay. Oh, we got ourselves some more meat and blood bones. And maybe this would be a good time to head back and regroup, because I don't know that I want to explore north any further. Alright, so next turn we will have enough quartz to make the city happen. You guys have any points of movement left? Yeah, let's just regroup. Because I am afraid. The craftsman is leveled up. Carry limits and health, gathering, crafting, research, rituals, luck, faith. This seems pretty important. This is luck, rituals, crafting, gathering, and sanity. I don't really know where we're at as far as effectiveness in yellow and purple challenges, so I have a hard time knowing which one of those might be more important to pick. We definitely want something that gives crafting, right? Let's take Destiny. Alright, so you all can break camp and move over to here. And is there... here we go. Join our groups. Then we can move up to here and camp, because now all of the fuel is all together, so we can actually get some healing done. And we can also actually gather some fruit, because we're good enough at gathering stuff. We would not be able to complete another gather. We're certainly not going to sit here for more than one turn. And it is nice to have a talented gatherer. I feel good about that decision. As the sun rises high, you feel its gentle warmth on your skin and rejoice at the growing strength of the light over darkness. But as you do so, you begin to feel uneasy. The warmth becomes ever more constant, unrelenting, the air stale and oppressive. So because we have the light domain, we can focus on our domain and try to find out what's happening here. Or we can choose the light is burning you alive. Try to find the source so you can defeat it. I guess let's focus on our light domain and try to make it so the light doesn't totally murder us. As you observe the world around you, you soon see that the sun's rays are full of odd creatures. These light wisps are trying to attach themselves to you with their tentacles, and you sense their attempt to burn through your body and spirit. Your domain shields you somewhat, but then you also feel the call of this warmth, so sweet and promising. So we have to do a red concept challenge, a purple concept challenge, or a harder yellow concept challenge. Well, I don't actually know whether we're going to have an easier time on a red or a purple concept. Yeah, view group. Let's have a look at our, just general stats. So, Dirad is better at yellow. Dobromilla is slightly better at yellow. It looks to me like... yeah, we're not great at purple challenges, all things considered. So I don't really have any idea whether we want to do a level 2 yellow challenge or a level 1 purple. Let's try the yellow challenge, because we really do have much better yellow stats. So yeah, you can see we're fighting some abstract concepts here. We do not do a lot of damage in yellow combat. In fact, you... oh wow, you have a very significant shielding ability. So you can see our yellow hit points are not that great. A lot of our points of shielding are physical shielding, so they're not effective here. Probably the physical challenge would have been a reasonable way to go, actually. I was just trying to mix things up. Alright, well let's throw down... you have so little yellow health, I'd be leery of putting you out front. Yeah, let's throw on the Chosen. The Chosen's pretty tough. Wow, is that... sorry, 10 damage? On 9.5 delay... Jesus. Okay, that's bad. You're pretty fast. But we won't get the bonus poison damage. And it's only 3. Man, everybody only does 3. This might be a good time to forfeit, actually. Maybe we should just bail. What is your ability here? Showing off. Regular damage that also increases the affected target's delay. Oh, that's neat. That's an 11.2 delay skill. So, he would act after the magnifying glass on the first turn, but he'll increase its delay. And then during the second resolution phase, maybe it'll act after him. I don't know. It doesn't say how much it increases it by. But if it's like 2 points, it would cause it to go after him. I think we might have to forfeit this. I'm a little concerned about the 10 damage. I guess let's play it out a little bit more. So we'll put you right here. And you have the same... Oh, it is, okay, it is 2 seconds of delay. So that's actually pretty significant. I'm going to put her down. It's one enemy in the melee row in front of the character. If there is none, then any enemy can be targeted. Okay. Let's see what else they put out before we decide to retreat. Okay, another copy of that guy, and then a thing that only does 4 damage. That's definitely a lot less terrifying. Unfortunately, this is now going to absorb my slowdown attack. Oof, we're going to take some very serious damage here, but you know what? It looks like it's still doable to me. And then let's use her shielding ability, because he is going to get walloped. Okay, does he have his shields up? He does. Shields up is an any color ability. So we could throw some more shielding out. It feels pretty bad. We should probably put out more damage. Just clicking through everybody here to make sure that there aren't any abilities that are not entirely obvious. I don't want to miss anything. Alright, I guess we're just going to commit another one of these slowdown abilities. They both happen at the same time. I guess just... So the brain is going to tank a little bit. Oh, then he played 2 more cards. Well, it was a cunning strategy. It's a little goofy. Well, we slowed the brain down a lot. It's not necessarily what we needed to do. So we actually could lose a character here. Okay, they chose not to attack the same character, which I really appreciate. So we have to not play... We have to be real careful about who we play on this next turn. They lost one of their cards, though. All they have left is the magnifying glass. It'll cost 1 point to play it once, 2 points the next time. They'll be able to get 3 of it out. So we need to commit some pretty fast attacks here. And actually, Zuzka is also pretty well armored, or she's got a lot of sanity, rather. I'm going to put one of her in the front row. I think we're going to end up being pretty reliant on her. She has the sanity necessary to survive the attacks. Let's see. This ability does require you to be in the front row. We could get hit up to 3 times here. And Zuzka cannot quite kill them before they all get to act. She just can't do enough damage. I'm going to put down another one of her. What I'm hoping here is that we'll get to play one of our warrior guys out to the side. Oh, I guess that's not a good idea. I was thinking we could make them commit to their columns and then play outside of their columns. But right, this is a targeted attack. It's actually really unsafe for us to do anything other than play people who have very high health. He theoretically could be killed. I think actually we only play Zuzka? Because they're going to deal 30 total damage. They can't kill Zuzka, and she's going to get them down to 1, and then she can end the fight on the beginning of the second execution phase. But if we play anybody else, we risk losing them. Yeah, we just wait. They play a third one of these. We play a third one of these. And then we can play the child's shielding ability. Okay. Oh, the book had 1 health left. I totally did not remember that. Well, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, that's right, the poison. I forgot the damage modifier on the poison, because the magnifying glass was no longer at full health. Okay, so that went better than we thought it would. You remain strong, and the creature's attempts are futile. Seeing their failure, the wisps flicker away towards the sun and disappear. You see burnt carcasses of bugs and small critters around you, but you also spot a small pack of oddly paired beings moving away in unison, as if trying to follow the wisps. Okay, that's a weirdly vague description. And we got some ancient wood. Said to keep the wisdom and memory of the ages past. It is both rare and beautiful. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff we would not want to burn in our campfires. And we also all got a mental blessing. Increase in wisdom and intelligence, a pretty considerable one too, for 3 turns. Okay. And some advancement and some XP. Alright, so somewhere over here. I think we want to put the city down in a place where there is food and also fuel. Like, this tile might be good. There are 2 quartz deposits, 2 different types of food, and wood right there. And then there's a bunch of other stuff kind of nearby. Yeah, let's head for there. Is it necessary to, like, rush to putting down your town? I have no idea. We're very much still just feeling this out. Alright, recamp, and let me uncheck this. Do not burn that. I think they prefer to burn your lower quality stuff automatically, but I'm not 100% certain on that. We'll just camp again to take some healing. It has become night. Roaming monsters are more likely to follow your groups and attack. Visibility is limited. Okay, camp time. So, the first and most important thing is beginning the task of crafting our idol out of quartz and cosmic seed. Actually, hold on. We have enough sandstone to do it too, so I'm curious what the actual difference is. So we have the ability, the idol, or the village, built by the idol, will have the ability to summon a guardian demon, increase our village's sight range by 2, gathering range by 1. I wonder if increase by 1 means... I wonder if the default gathering range is just the tile you're on, so increase by 1 means the 7 tiles, or if the default range is 1 in every direction, so the increased gathering range is that larger area. And a bonus to gathering and crafting attribute while in the city. If we were to make it out of sandstone instead... Oh, see, this bar is less full. Because we're getting 16... Okay, so each 1 sandstone gives 0.5 stone essence. Each quartz gives 0.9. And filling up the essence bar makes the city... Oh yeah, look, it's like affecting the gathering stat increases a lot. Okay, so filling up the essence bar makes the city more effective. So we want rarer materials because they have a higher essence value. Okay, this makes sense to me. 418. Well, good news. Our crafter is actually really good at his job, like extremely good. And one of the warriors can help. It'll get that down to 3 turns. And then, obviously, we want our gatherer to go out and gather. Why don't we gather some vegetables? And you lot can also work on gathering. Maybe Urad and Moimira work on gathering some grain, and Dobromilla... I mean, she's pretty bad at researching. What is this panel? Oh, this panel is rituals. I don't know anything about what rituals are. Okay, this allows you to recover some of your purple health, which I guess maybe doesn't recover on its own? Or maybe this just helps it recover faster than it normally does? Let's not worry about that right now. We'll just throw her on gathering, I guess. She can work toward getting us some more fuel. Okay, so we're just going to chill out here for 3 turns and not do anything. Hey, what's up with our quests? Gathering or cooking some more food. We have gathered food. Maybe we have to also cook something? Well, let's finish getting our town up first, then we'll worry about cooking. Oh, no. Okay, apparently you just have to gather enough. Alright, well done. And here, one must have a good drink, too. Now, the same way you cooked, you can also craft equipment and later buildings in your village. You can also design recipes to see how they will turn out. We got 19 nut tincture. If it sounds suspicious, it probably is, so consume at your own risk. Fair enough. Alright, what else do you have to say? If you make special food you need to save for something, or more likely you gather good wood or better food, and you don't want it eaten or burnt. Yeah, obviously. I saw this tip already, so this is just how you exclude things from being used in the menu. In the first game I played, we gathered food for a single turn, and he gave us this tip. I'm not sure why it took longer this time. And don't forget to spend your research points. You can see your research tree at the top right corner. Now you have this sorted, I know of an abandoned house you can explore. Who knows what mysteries you'll uncover there. Yep, and we'll totally get right on that. Where is it? It's over here. Okay, so Zuzka the Gatherer has leveled up. We can get her a crafting increase, or she already has the poison throwing dagger skill. Okay, this is increasing it, I guess. Maybe? Doesn't she already have this skill? Hold on, can I cancel? We want to click on this and go to... skills and effects. Yeah, she totally already has... Okay. So her current poison throwing dagger is showing a 0.8... Sorry, what does that mean? It does... I guess maybe its base value is 0.8 and then that's modified by her stats and stuff. So the thing that's available on level up here, it looks the same, right? It's another... It looks like the same skill. And honestly, I don't expect she's going to be engaging in combat all that much. Let's make her better at crafting. So she's good at gathering and crafting. Okay, our town is set up, so you can see we have a good amount of vision now. We can see some spiders out here in the distance. The children are leveling up. Hold on a second. Let's go look at the children a little bit closer in the menu. Let's see if we can figure out exactly what they're... Wow. Hey, guy. I guess this is our town's demon. Wow. He has really good crafting. And actually pretty good gathering as well. But he has no boots. He's not... yeah, I guess boots wouldn't fit on. Probably what that means is he has 0 movement range. He is part of the town permanently. Okay, that's cool. He's sort of a... kind of like a... What's the word? Domovoy, right? I don't know a ton about Slavic myth, and that's my impression is that's where a lot of the stuff in this game comes from. But I have definitely at least heard of a domovoy. So what is the deal with a child? It's just like a bad character? Skills and effects. So she's good at punching. This child will grow into an adult once the counter reaches 0. Okay, so the counter in the upper right there. So in 16 turns, this child becomes an actual full-blown character. Reliable argument. Your words are wise and based on sound logic. Okay, so she's particularly good at mental challenges, I guess. And she has herself a bone wand, which can be used in yellow and purple challenges. And she has no tags. Are the 2 children... Oh, that's handy. I did not realize that was even a button that was down there. Are they growing up at the same rate? Are they both going to become... Okay, no. Moimira is going to grow up slightly beforehand. Fair morale. Okay, yeah, so you can see, because of her morale, she has 2 points of shielding, she has more HP, she has an increase in her task efficiency. Okay, so they'll grow up over time. Alright, now that we are in the town proper, we have to figure out what we want to do here. It looks like everybody has recovered their health. We can use that new button I accidentally discovered. Yeah, everybody's back in perfect shape. So we need some people to go and adventure out to that abandoned house. My instinct is to have it be the 2 warriors and that's it, but we have to remember that not all of the challenges we will face will necessarily be physical ones. So they're okay at mental challenges. We could send the craftsman out with them. We'd still be pretty bad at purple stuff, but at least that, like, the craftsman is an okay fighter and is also actually quite good at mental challenges. Obviously that means he's not in town crafting, but we don't really have that many resources. I don't know that we have a lot of stuff to build. We can build ourselves a crafting tool. The other ring. Just put it on your finger. You know you want to. It's not that one ring. It's that other ring. You know. Okay. Let's have a look at, before we make a decision there, let's have a look at our advancement wheel, our crafting area. Now we could learn to craft some stuff. 1- and 2-handed scrolls that do not have the basic attack skill. So these are all like, yeah, this is equipment. These are all weapons and armor. You know, it might be a good idea to know how to make armor. Yeah, let's spend... Allows you to craft robe, medium armor, and heavy armor. Okay. Yeah, let's unlock that. And I think we are going to split... How do you do that again? Here, okay. We're going to split the craftsman, I know. He could stay in town and craft, but also we just need more bodies out there in the world. I definitely don't want to lose the Gatherer from the city, and Bozidar is stuck, so... Alright, we'll just pass out some... This is food. Yeah, we'll pass out... Is there a button for just... It doesn't look like it. I would love it if there was a button for just give me half of all the different things that we have. Want to make sure we have a lot of different types of food on us so that we can get that good morale bonus. Alright, and then... We don't need but a couple of turns. I guess we can give them quite a bit of wood, because we can gather wood from the town, right? Yeah, we'll give them quite a bit of wood. Okay, she's gathering wood pretty effectively now that she has the city bonus on top of it. So, can we actually craft armor right now? No, we're going to need some more stuff. We're going to need leather and wood or gems. Okay, so we have metal. Alright, if we just gather stone, we have access to more quartz. We gather stone and quartz and wood. We can make some heavy armor for ourselves out of that. So, with nothing to build, your job is to help with the gathering, little dude. Help me work on this quartz. Maybe we don't want to have everybody split up like this. Let's let the gathering happen like this one more turn so that the children finish the things they're gathering, and then we'll maybe reapportion them a little bit. Somebody can help with the quartz. Okay, so now we know a little bit more about their whole deal. She can mark prey to show to others, or learn the protective word skill, which is what Moimira has. I'm kind of curious about this. And you can learn punching people, or just a passive increase in your luck. In my experience, most games, luck is either extremely bad or extremely good. Yeah, let's increase luck. Let's see. Moimira may not be much of a fighter. Alright, so we constructed our town of Ostrogora. And let's have our expedition head out in the direction of the house. Turns out we can make it there right now. You find Theodore's abandoned house. It is nestled amongst some trees and looks rather old. Inside, the place is surprisingly lived in and well taken care of. There's even a fireplace. You hear an old woman's voice croak at you. Well, 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 dinner guests, how splendid. Do come and stay. Forever. Yeah, we got it, lady. She's really laying it on thick. Wow. There is no way out. The doors are gone. You'll have to face this hag to escape. So, probably we're not much for mysticism. We could attack her, just try to kill a witch straight up, or we could try to convince her to let us go. We're pretty reasonably, we're pretty good at red challenges. But I wonder if there might be some consequences to killing a witch. This is the, I didn't actually do this. This is the first new step. The first step that I didn't do during the game where I was just feeling it out a little. So, Let's try to convince her to let us go. I'm a little concerned that we may end up in a bad way if we try to kill a witch. Nah, but we're way more effective at physical violence. Alright. Begin. How dangerous is a witch in physical combat? She doesn't do a lot of damage. She has not a ton of health. This maybe was the right way to do this. And her attack is slower than our swordsman's attack. So let's start with him. Oh, she's close enough to... Wow. Close enough to town that we can attack with Bozidar, and he has a ton of shielding. Single target melee attack from any row, and a nice fast high damage headbutt. Okay. Yeah, headbutter. You summon some unliving rats. These do not seem terrifying. They're attacking on 0. Wow. Okay, well. Let's throw down Hammerman. And I guess put him out as well. Okay, I think she's in a little bit of trouble here. That is my read of the situation. I kind of want to hold off, because I don't know what she's going to do next. Yeah, let's just hold off. Hold on. Okay, so she just played another one of herself, and we have no idea what she's going to target, because she gets to pick. So, let's have, with 3 action points, we could throw down... Let's do another hammer. And a throwing knife, I guess? We don't really have a lot of attacks that work from the back. Okay, I don't think this witch was quite prepared for physical combat. It seems to me that if you're going to try to trap people in your house so that you can eat them... I guess she didn't actually say she was going to eat us, but come on, she's a witch in a fairy tale. Obviously, she was going to eat us. You'd think you'd want to be a little bit more ready for the way that they might respond to that. So we got ourselves an elven wand and some herbs. Great for cooking and herbalism. And also, Theodore appears. Well done indeed. Has chosen it is your job to stay alive. You must either dominate the lands or solve the Shattering's mystery, or else all is lost. And for that, you must live. She'll be back soon to give you a final task. Okay, so we're almost through the tutorial here. I did notice this. There is a button up here that says Domination Victory. I assume that there's more than one kind of victory, because otherwise it would probably just say victory at the top of this. So we can see one of the ways that we can win the game is by meeting one of the requirements in each of these 3 categories. Obviously, we're talking about a pretty far away goal. But presumably there's other ways to win? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But I think that might be a good place to call it for episode 1. Thank you all so much for watching. The intent with this series is to release another hour of gameplay every weekday, but there might be an extra episode or 2 over the next coming days or the coming weekend, just as we sort of dig into all of this cool new stuff. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.